everyone, welcome back. Did you know, according to Commonwealth Fund Report 2023, NHS ranks first among overall healthcare systems in high-income countries? Well, like any other system, it has its challenges. Today, we'll delve deeper into the NHS system, answering your questions regarding longer wait times, quality of care, and more. Today, again, we have our expert doctor, Abhay Chopra. Let's discuss this further with him. So, Dr. Abhay, it's been a common concern with NHS of longer wait times for non-emergency care. Can you share any of your experience with us and how it actually made you feel?
Absolutely, goes without saying. So let me just first explain the two common models of healthcare. One is the socialized healthcare model, which is what we have in UK, whereby the government acts as your final arbiter of provision. And the government has set up a national health service which is free to all from cradle to grave. But any socialized system also gets abused. And as your population ages, the demand on the care is a lot higher. So it becomes a lot more expensive and unaffordable. The other model of healthcare is the American model, whereby you actually have private healthcare model driven up by insurers. But again, the same conundrum happens that if you lose a job, suddenly you don't have access to care. And if you're unwell, you're going to lose your job. So it becomes a very, very tricky scenario. Why am I passionate about transformation? So let me tell you, I'm a surgeon. And when you see a patient on a trolley for more than 8 hours suffering and you just can't get him into a bed, your heart goes out. You do realize that it's not human. It's not something you would want for yourself. But that's happening to our patients all days. So there's a lot of personal insight. Let me put it this way. I compare it with India, where I can get healthcare like this and it's cheap. The question then is, why is India so much better at healthcare provision? And I realized that, hang on, it's not every Indian who's got that privilege. We are in the affordable class. We are probably the creamy layer. So we have access. So that got me thinking, what can you do to mix these two models? Have a socialized heart and a privatized delivery system. And that's what axonic healthcare is. NHS is in itself transforming right now. The government has realized that the model needs to transform. So the government is very keen for innovative new players to come in and start delivering care. So we see a huge role for companies like ourselves to be the caregivers and care providers, using a platform whereby clinical efficiency is significantly enhanced.
Correct, I agree. Any insights you'd like to give on the second opinions in this industry of trust?
So the second opinion model that we have is, in a lot of places, individual expertise might be lacking, or the patient might want reassurance. Let's assume you've been diagnosed with a serious kind of cancer. Now you've been told to have chemotherapy. Now chemotherapy is not simple. It can be risky. It can actually have a very serious side effects. You just want someone else to tell you that you need it. You can just access a second opinion through us from a global expert. You no longer have to just say, oh, hang on, I'm in India, I'm not very rich, I can't afford to go to UK, I can't afford to go to US. Remember, as long as you can talk with the doctor and the doctor seeing the same data that your doctor here in India actually acted upon, the cost of a consult is very minimal, very affordable. You know, don't need a visa, you don't need to book a flight, you don't need to spend 5 or 6 lakh rupees for an opinion. You can do it in 30,000 rupees.
So this recently happened with my friend. She was having stomach aches and little loose motions, and she went to a doctor. He kept calling for follow-up visits and stuff for like 2-3 days, and he was like, it's a stomach infection and blah blah what's not, and she was so scared. Then she because she wasn't getting any better, she went for another doctor, and he's like, it's nothing, it's no big deal, it's just a normal simple loose motions because of the weather or something, you just ate something different, you don't need to just worry about it. So again, the second opinions, what do you think about that?
So let me first put it this way. There are times when trust deficit occurs during medical consultations. It can happen due to an inappropriate advice, or that can happen due to the doctor's lack of expertise. Or the doctor might not have experience, so he gets scared and he's trying to do whatever is best in his area. But that's why most of the doctors are very welcoming about second opinions. We don't see it as a threat. We see it as an help that we can get for our patients. Having said that, over the last few years, I've seen a little worrying trend. And that is commercial incentives for doctors to make decisions that, especially about surgery. I would say that hang on, it's your body. So before doing anything massive, why don't you just take a second opinion? And if the opinions concur with each other, then you're absolutely safe, because a doctor who does not have a commercial incentive to take that decision, and if he gives you the same decision, it's very unlikely that the first doctor is doing something wrong. Secondly, the moment you start making second opinions easily accessible, it acts as a pressure for people not to do wrong things.
Right.
So the second opinion system is very, very good for changing a system. And that's where I see it. So it's not just a second opinion, it's actually a social transformer. There is a second problem with the second opinion, that is lack of access to data. Patients need to have access to their own data. Without that, they can't get a proper second opinion. So I always say that the one thing that you always need with you is your medical file. It is not the doctor's property, it's your property, it's your life.
Right.
So having your medical file with you actually empowers you beyond belief.
Thank you, Dr. Abhay, for your valuable insights. Your experiences truly offer a different perspective to our audiences on NHS system. Thank you, our audience, for joining us today. Please leave your feedback in our comments section and stay tuned for more.